Fourth quarter about to begin at Graham Gill Field in a pivotal game for both teams. But for Wingate's sake, Tim, they really need this game to have a chance at an NCAA tournament berth in the South region. The top 6 teams in the region currently: Limestone, Belmont Abbey, UIndy, Tampa, Queens, and Lynn, who lost to St. Leo in the Sunshine State Conference semis. Wingate, if they win today, it would likely propel them into the top 6 in an NCAA tournament berth.
Yeah, and just, that's something that, similar to, big-time football programs wanting to play in a bowl. It just extends your season. It means so much in recruiting to say not only did we play or win our conference championship, but we played in the NCAA postseason. And then here locally, it's bragging rights.
Absolutely.
In the conference, in the Charlotte area. A lot of the recruits who come through town, they visit Wingate, Queens, Lenore-Rhine, Belmont Abbey, all in one stop. So having bragging rights and having postseason honors on your resume, really help you in the recruiting game.
Limestone beat Belmont Abbey in Conference Carolina's championship game earlier today, so the Saints a lock at the 1 seed in the South region.
Yeah, Limestone has been a juggernaut this year, undefeated. Conference Carolina's champion. We're tested toward the end of the regular season with a 1 or 2 goal win over Mount Olive. But they
were tested by Queens too. They
absolutely
lost by one
goal win earlier in the season against Queens. Traditionally, Limestone plays a lot of out-of-region teams. Some of the powerhouses from from up in New York, Lemoyne, Post, Adelphi. Don't have any of those games on their resume this year, but they are undefeated.
Wingate trying to get the back up there. Sean Moran dove, but it's saved and salvaged with Queens possession. A fresh shot clock for the Royals, looking to win the SAC title looking to win the SAC title for the first time since 2014.
It's a huge ground ball here by Neal.
RJ.
Transition opportunity.
RJ motors ahead, the former basketball star in high school. Quick passes, Wingate. That's Josh Ferentinos, just his 3rd goal of the season, and the bench erupts.
Number 33, Josh Ferentinos.
Just inserted into the game and scores the go-ahead goal.
What a moment for the 5'4", 150-pound junior from Gaithersburg, Maryland.
And this is where the spacing on the fast break we talked about earlier in the game pays off. So Piazza, to his credit, stays high on the fast break, steps to the ball from Neal, and gets it to the back right for the finish.
What a moment for Josh Ferentinos. He was a starter on the attack line last year for Wingate, lost his job. Don Piazza, you obviously know what Don Piazza's done this year with 28 goals, 17 assists. Piazza took Ferentinos' spot, but for Josh Ferentinos, that is a pivotal moment in this game. Wingate back up by 1.
Well, and if you're asking where's Amarad, he's coming in through the midfield now. So just a little bit of a chess match by the coaching staff, offensive, coaching staff for Wingate. Taking one of the starting attackmen, running them through the box, and then putting your 4th attackman in, and it immediately pays off.
Ryan Ormerod stops on a dime, flings to Josh Ferentinos, providing a spark off the bench is Josh Ferentinos. Wingate wants more. Padden shoots high. Queens awarded the backup Griffin Steckmiller. We haven't called his name too much recently, but he is a very important part of this Queens team. 8-7 lead. This is a monster game for both of these teams. Queens right now is in the NCAA tournament, but a loss would put their postseason chances in jeopardy. Wingate absolutely needs this win to have a chance at the NCAA tournament. So a lot on the line.
And one of the things that gets overlooked with Steckmiller's prowess offensively is how good of a defender he is.
Yeah.
He's been all over Lorandi all day. That's been a great matchup of 2 first-teamers. And there, forget any kind of sexy stat. He had the backup on the shot, which we said earlier was so important. So he wins that backup with hustle and gets Queens this possession.
Shot clock already down to 22. Robbie Williams battles here with Mac Talent. Talent defers to the top. Now we're down to 10 on the shot clock. Jesse Oliver.
Queens got to make a decision here whether they go for the shot or...
That shot wide left from number 11 in Navy, Kevin Berry. Just 2 to shoot.
2 seconds and they get Oliver off. Kevin Barry coming off as well.
Queens just concedes the possession and RJ Neal picks it up. So now Wingate, who has basically led all game. The last lead for Queens was 2-1. Neither team has had a lead larger than 3. It's been that back and forth.
And after selling out on the last possession, Steckmiller off the field here. Alex Baker, a freshman for Queens, local kid out of North Carolina, Apex High School, on to cover Lorandi.
Alex Lorandi has been fairly quiet in this game.
And normally teams elect not to dodge the pole. They want to isolate and go on the short sticks. As a coaching staff, I would go after Baker, the freshman. Hasn't had a lot of runs, and this is your first team all-conference kid, Lorandi. See if he can get a stop on him.
Little hesitation from Ryan Ormerod. Now this is the sack player of the year, Alex Lorandi, 35 in white. Josh Ferentinos, the spark plug off the bench, makes a man slip on the ground, creates havoc. Shot in front, Ormerod denied. Ferentinos hits the turf, and Queens physically owns that defensive sequence, and they have the ball.
Yeah, more of the chess match on offense as Queens deciding to cover the attackman with a short stick. New into the game, Ferentinos, they had a short stick on him. He makes a great move, leaves him in the dust, but they can't convert.
Queens has been in the SAC championship 3 times prior to today. Every time they've played in the SAC championship, the game has been decided by a goal. They've lost 2 out of their 3 SAC championships. Their only win was in 2014 against Lenoir Rhine. Ball loose. Mike DeLetch, the ground ball.
Big ground ball by DeLetch.
Sophomore.
Under pressure, and there's Moran,
who was
looking to sub onto the defense, but never got over to the defensive side, and now will sub off. So we'll see if they do it here again. In the last possession, they covered Ferentinos with a short stick, and they kept the pole on Ormerod, even though he's running out of the box as a midi, essentially double polling the midfield. Here, Ormerod not back on the field, so they keep the pole on Ferentinos.
Ferentinos just 5'4", but he provided a major spark moments ago. Connor Grombach shoots low, and Anthony Valenza locked in the low bouncer, no dice, and it's still 8-7. Ball loose on the carpet. Alex Lorandi, the GB. Lorandi.
Key turnover.
Yes, indeed. Joe Cooper backpedals out. Wingate, the top seed in this tournament. Queens, the 3 seed. The only time a team has won as not a 1 or 2 was in 2015. Mars Hill had to play 3. Alex Lorandi, point blank range, puts it through for his second of the day.
8:16 left in the fourth.